You want to hear something crazy? I've had a Steam Deck for over a year. Yeah, Valve sent me a review unit and it arrived here on February 24th, 2022. That's crazy to think about. To think back on the state of the deck when I first got mine and how far it's come in that time. The question is, should you buy a Steam Deck in 2023? The answer is, of course, it depends. How do you prefer to play your games? What kind of games do you like to play? And can you afford one? So in honor of Steam Deck's first anniversary, I thought we should answer the question. There are 6 major categories of gamers that I think are going to love the deck. I want to go over each one of them and talk about how the deck can augment or even fully replace your current method of play. There's also one major caveat, one genre really, that doesn't lend itself well to the deck, at least yet, and we'll get to that in a bit. First up, if you're a sucker for the indie gaming scene, then the Steam Deck is for you. While the other categories that we're going to talk about are also great on deck, nothing can compare to the breadth of indie titles available for Steam Deck. From classics like Super Meat Boy, Undertale, Shovel Knight, Bastion, Stardew Valley, and Spelunky, to modern hits like Hades, Dead Cells, Shotgun King, and The Outer Wilds. The Steam Deck has more choice than any other platform, and more indie games just work, too, either because the developers release their games as native Linux versions, or because Proton supports the most common indie game engines. So if you've wanted to get your hands on Ori and the Blind Forest, or Cuphead, Stray, Owlboy, or Hollow Knight, the Steam Deck is, in my opinion, your first and best option. Next up, single-player titles are a genre-spanning flavor of gaming that's been around since the earliest days of the interactive medium. They provide a unique and immersive experience that can be enjoyed at your own pace. They allow you to experience a fully realized world in any way that you see fit, in ways that other forms of entertainment simply can't match. Whether it's exploring the vast open worlds of Skyrim or delving into the intricate narrative of games like The Last of Us or BioShock Infinite, single-player games often afford us a unique and engrossing story. One where we can take our time to fully explore either the game world or get lost in the narrative without feeling rushed or pressured to keep up with others. Not to mention that you can choose how you want to approach a particular challenge, and you're not limited by the actions or decisions of others. This level of agency can be empowering and satisfying as you're able to take ownership of your gameplay experience. So if you enjoy robust storytelling, single-player campaigns, and the freedom of exploration, then the Steam Deck was made for you. Many of the best titles for deck right now are single-player games. Titles like Spider-Man Remastered, Doom Eternal, Horizon Zero Dawn, Red Dead Redemption 2, The Witcher 3, Elden Ring, or any number of other story-driven single-player games find themselves right at home on the Steam Deck. Before we move on, why haven't you liked that smash button yet? When you do, you'll be well on your way to seeing more content just like this. You can also hit that subscribe button if that's more your speed. So believe it or not, Steam actually acts as somewhat of a repository of classic PC games, both old and new. From titles that launched in the days of MS-DOS and Windows 95, all the way up to, well, stuff that released yesterday. Strong releases from a decade ago certainly count as well. Titles like the original Crysis and Half-Life 2. But there's also modern remakes and re-releases like Night Dive's Doom 64 and the Turok games, as well as compilations like Crash Bandicoot and Sane Trilogy. Playing retro PC games on the Steam Deck is a great way to experience these classic games in a portable and convenient way. One of the key features of the Steam Deck is Proton. Proton is a compatibility tool which allows it to run a large number of Windows-based games natively on Linux. While Proton has been lauded for its efforts to bring modern AAA games to Linux-based operating systems, fewer people celebrate its robust, mature, and capable support of Windows 9X and NT titles. Games originally designed to run on early versions of Windows can be played on the Steam Deck without the need for additional software or emulators. And Proton provides a stable foundation for legacy PC gamers, even better than what Microsoft offers with their own compatibility tools. Besides Proton though, the Steam Deck has another trick up its sleeve: Steam Input. Where older games may not expect or support controller input, or they may have some arcane input scheme that feels foreign to today's sensibilities, Steam Input can map any number of inputs to the Steam Deck's standard controller. You can map X input controllers, keyboards, mouse, gyro touchscreen, and even on-screen displays. And it's all done in this simple interface. Steam Input offers a great way to breathe new life into older titles and allows the games of yesterday to find new and younger audiences. Overall, playing retro PC games on the Steam Deck is a great way to experience these classic titles. The Proton compatibility layer ensures that old and new titles alike just work without any issues, making it a great choice for anyone looking to revisit their favorite classic games or discover retro gems. In that same vein, we have emulation. Emulation is a resource-intensive task, and that's because most emulators worth their salt actually simulate the hardware of another machine in software. Generally speaking, the computational power required to emulate another machine is around 7 times the machine being emulated. And thankfully, the Steam Deck has power in spades. At its heart, the Steam Deck features a custom quad-core AMD APU that boasts an impressive 8-core RDNA 2 GPU. This hardware is more than capable of running most emulators and retro games, allowing you to play classic console and arcade games on the go. Additionally, the Steam Deck runs on the aforementioned custom version of Linux, SteamOS, which provides users with greater flexibility and control over their device. Linux is well known for its compatibility with a wide range of emulators, and even when an emulator might not have a Linux build, the Steam Deck's Proton compatibility layer enables many Windows-only emulators to run. And before you go down into the comments and toe the Nintendo line whining that emulation is piracy, it is not. Emulation is a viable and fully legal method of playing your games. Whether you get your ROMs by dumping them from the original console, exporting them from a ROM compilation that you bought, or by sourcing them in other legal ways, so long as the emulator that you're playing on is not using any proprietary code from some publisher that doesn't want you to have access to it, you're good to go. And as many emulation enthusiasts have noted before, Steam Deck is the best emulation device for the money today. Now, I do have a word of caution for you. Multiplayer game developers are fairly standoffish when it comes to the Steam Deck. Their reasoning for not supporting the deck ranges anywhere from almost understandable to absurdly outlandish. But at the end of the day, if you primarily play online shooters or other online multiplayer games, you'll want to do a bit of research before buying a Steam Deck. Now, I can tell you that as of writing, there are several popular online games that do work, Halo Infinite and Apex Legends being chief among them. But if you're looking for something like Fortnite, that's just not going to happen. Can you dual boot Windows? Yeah, you can. But Windows provides an exceptionally poor user experience on deck. Windows was designed to have a keyboard and mouse connected at all times. That's just simply not the case on the Steam Deck. And other applications can steal focus from your game while you're playing. Frankly, Windows is just a bad way to experience your PC gaming library. But now that we know what games generally work well on deck, there are 2 more things I want to touch on. The first is, who is the Steam Deck actually for? So if you're a PC gamer who's sick of sitting at your desk to play games, then the deck is for you. You can take the vast majority of your existing Steam library with you on the go, and that's a game changer. Before I had my Steam Deck, I maybe played games in my Steam library a grand total of 40 hours a year. And that's a generous assumption. Heck, I played more games on my Switch than I did on my PC. And that drove me nuts because I already owned many of the games I wanted to play on Switch in my Steam library. And every game on the Switch seemed to be twice as expensive, and the deals were never as good on the Switch store. And you know, speaking of the Switch, that's the other type of gamer that I think will love the deck. Switch owners. If you're tired of paying through the nose for your games, if you just want to play games and not have Nintendo Switch Online shoved down your throat, if you love the fact that you can take your library with you, the deck is for you. As soon as I got my deck, I was playing games on it, and I didn't have to sit at my desk, and I didn't have to play on Windows, and I was playing even more than I was on my Switch. In fact, I don't think I've touched my Switch except for maybe 2 rounds of Mario Kart since I got my Steam Deck. And look, you don't have to have a Steam account already. You can be brand new to the PC gaming world. The Steam Deck makes PC gaming accessible to everyone. And when it comes down to it, the Steam Deck is an incredible handheld. And truly, its only shortcoming at this point is that there are some game developers who don't want you to play their games on the Steam Deck. Go figure. I'm so excited for what the future holds for this device. In a year's time, we've gone from half-baked software with some cool ideas that need refinement to a turnkey consoleized gaming PC with a AAA software experience. I'm so excited to see where we are by this time next year. The question is, what do you think? Do you have a deck? How long have you had it? And how have you been playing your games? What features would you like to see on the Steam Deck a year from now? Leave me a comment and let me know. I would love to hear from you. I want to give a special shout out to my friends on Patreon and my YouTube members who make what I do here possible. It's because of these folks that I've been able to grow this show into what it's become today. If you believe in the work that I'm doing, you can become a patron or a YouTube member with the links below. It's all greatly appreciated. That's going to do it for now though. Thank you so much for spending time with me here today, and I'll see you next time.